What? Seriously? Kala ko makakabalik ka na, Erica. So, how am I supposed to do this? What? Ako, cannot. Okay, sige, I got it. Hello, Direk. Oh my goodness, hindi pa pala makakabalik si Erica. Can you send somebody here because I'm all alone and I can't do the show alone? Okay, sige. Thank you. Can do this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Shai de la Fuente, a member of BCBP Alabang, and welcome to Unmasked. Good evening. Tonight we have a very special edition for all of you, and that is why I will start the show with a big bang. Making her very first appearance is someone well known to so many in BCBP. She also happens to be heavy gatin. Hindi mabigat ha? Heavy gats lang. Paano kasi she is an unmasked scriptwriter. So, brothers and sisters, please welcome, direct from backstage, my surprise co-host. Come on in, please. Sumisilip ka pa dyan. Pasok na. Hello. Beth, baka gusto mo mag-unmute para naman you can introduce yourself properly.
Oh my God! Hi, Shai! Ano ba ito? I am so surprised. Am I really on camera
Yes, you
now?
are. Hi, Beth.
Okay.
Welcome to Unmasked.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Beth Hinete, BCBP Makati, and so surprised to be here with you. Good evening, Shai.
Good evening and welcome again. So, I'm so happy that you're here right beside me.
Tinulak ako sa likod. Shai,
Gulat
why
ka.
am I here? Saan ba si Erica?
Right before the show, she called and she said, medyo nagmumuni-muni pa siya.
Honey, muni-muni?
Well, actually, anniversary muni-muni, pero pareho na rin yun.
So in that case, shout out to Erica and of course her darling Arvin, wherever you are. Dito lang kami and basta magsaya kayo dyan. Happy anniversary.
Tumpak ka, Beth. Kami na ang bahala, Erica, sa episode 7. You and Arvin should have a great time, and again, happy anniversary to you both. So let us start, brothers and sisters. This BCBP live talk show is streaming in Facebook BCBP Kapatiran and YouTube BCBP TV. And I cannot believe that we have endured, ay hindi, wag naman. We've lasted 7 episodes, and each episode was not only fun and informative, but definitely memorable. So Beth, trabaho na tayo. Please
Kaya
let our
nga.
audience know what tonight's program will be like and what to expect.
Naka-7 na pala tayo tonight.
Oo.
Okay, last month, while our core team was discerning who is to unmask next, we thought of why not invite past chairman, the board of trustees, di ba? The BOT. Kaya lang, we discovered there were few of them. Yung pala, a few good chairmen. So our title was inspired by one of the guests that we were inviting. And he said, bakit? Kasi limited edition lang kami. So thus, we welcome you, brothers and sisters, to tonight's Unmasked, episode 7, entitled Our Past Chairman, Limited Edition. O, diba?
Limited edition talaga.
Oo.
Pero Beth,
Kakaunti lang talaga sila.
marami yatang nagugulat na nandito kasi tabi ko si Noel de los Reyes ay sumisigaw, capital letters, Beth Hinete.
Hi, Noel. Ganito pala yung pakaramdam. Okay.
Yes. So Beth, I'm really very happy to introduce our first guest since I feel like I grew up with him and I grew up watching him in community. Okay lang ba with you if I start with the introductions?
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
Gusto mo ikaw na lang lahat?
Hindi, hindi. Kailangan magtrabaho ka dito. So our first guest is blissfully married to Fe Cecilia for 48 years. Wow, 2 years na lang golden celebrations na. So dapat may party at that time. They have 4 kids. Ang favorite ko, si Bobit, Nax, Bobit. Ayan na. Si Trisha, si Chris, and si Cheska. And I'm proud to say that Bobit and Trisha are still very much active members of the Alabang chapter. If any of the kids are watching, shout out naman kayo dyan sa inyong father. Our guest is an investment banker and runs Mike Advisory and Consultancy Services Incorporated. He has been a member of the Alabang chapter since 1988, and his past services include, among others, chapter head, RCD, AMD, national treasurer, and BOT chairman from 2009 to 2011. Still an active member of the advisory council. Brothers and sisters, let us all welcome Roberto Bobby Atendido. Hi, Tito Bobby. Good evening. Oh, nawala siya. Babalik.
Evening. Good
Yan.
evening,
Hi,
everyone
Bobby.
who are tuned in, and advance Merry Christmas to everyone.
Yan naman.
Wow! Okay, Shai, ako na lang ang susunod na guest. I'd like to introduce our second guest. He is also ecstatically married to Beng for 42 years, and they have 3 children naman, Marie Louise, Edward, and Marie Daniel. He is a rural banker, a resort operator, and a gentleman farmer. He is one of the pioneers of Cagayan de Oro chapter and since served in various leadership roles. Same as Bobby, chapter head, RCD, and then eventually BOT chairman from 2012 to 2014. He boasts like he's still very active senior member daw. So let's welcome Brother Eduardo Bong Pabella Pelaez. Hi,
Hi, Beth.
Bong!
Hi,
Hi, Tito
Chai. Hi,
Bong. Good
Bobby.
evening.
Good evening, members of the
Good
BCBP.
evening, Bong.
Good evening. Tuloy ko na siya kasi this
Go
one
ahead.
is very close to home. He's passionately married to Josie for 29 years and they have 2 single eligible sons. Enzo, who is also now a proud second generation member of Makati, and Carlos. He is a president of Premier Horizon Alliance Corporation. He's a member of Makati since 2001, having served as pare-pareho sila, no? Chapter head, RCD, national treasurer, and then the most recent BOT chairman from 2018 to 2020. Still a board member of the BCBP International Foundation Inc., BFI, and of course the advisory council. Let's all welcome Augusto Tito Serafica. Hi, Tito!
Hi, Tito.
Hi, Beth. Hi, Chai. Hi,
Good
Hello!
evening.
Kuyas. Kuya Bong. Kuya Bob. Hello,
Hi.
BCBP.
Long
Hello.
time no see.
Hi, Tito. Good evening.
Good evening.
Beth, may mga trash talking nangyayari sa chat box natin. Si
O
Bobet,
bakit?
sinasabi niya siya ay favorite son talaga. Parang sinagot din siya ni JV. So may happening na nangyayari sa chat box natin. But the chat box aside, no, somehow tonight, Beth, I feel like we are with real family. Puro sila tatang sa BCBP. So that means we need to behave at baka tayo mapalo. Okay,
Oh,
tatang.
pati ako
First,
mapapalo.
kasama ka dyan. For starters, we will direct this question to all of you. Can we find out who invited you to join BCBP and tell us, was it through the breakfast or straight to BCLP na? And then share na rin a bit of information like, what were your first impressions of the Brotherhood? Maybe Tito Bobby, we can start with you.
Okay, thanks, Shai. Well, actually, my family and I were abroad for 8.5 years, no? And it was in 1988 that we came back to the Philippines for good. And immediately after we came back, I was invited to the breakfast by a good friend of mine, Lito Francisco. So that was my first breakfast. And like what people say, that God is a hound of heaven. So a few weeks after, we were already invited to join BCLP 15 by Jess and Gigi Gallegos. So 30 years in the Brotherhood, and I must say it has been a blessing, one of the best blessings in our life, being part of this community. No? And what about you, Bong?
Well,
What brought
Bob,
you? What brought you to BCBP?
flashback tayo, no? May 1991. Kami naman, we did not attend the breakfast. Diretso na kami sa Christian Life Program number 2. Doon sa bahay ni Lita and Ed Canlas, sa master bedroom nila. We had to make up yung talk number 1 and talk number 2 through a cassette. No, malalaki yung cassette eh. Doon kami sa master bedroom nila. Ang galing, aircon, maganda yung kama. Di natulog kami ni Beng, no? Sabi namin, mukhang hindi yata para sa atin to. So what we did, we attended the breakfast. No? And then, eventually, we finished Christian Life Program number 3. Ang lesson learned natin dito, attend the breakfast first before the Christian Life Program. Ito si Tito, alam ko, pinilit to eh. Ikaw, Tito, paano?
Partially true, Kuya Bong. Anyway, there are two cardinal rules in the corporate world. So what is the first rule? The boss is always right. No? The second rule, when in doubt, refer to rule number 1. So, ang nag-invite sa akin sa BCBP, yung boss ko, si Kuya Bobby Atendido. So, that was a mandatory invitation or order. So, Josie and I, while we were really searching for a community, but we didn't enter the BCBP via breakfast. We actually entered it through the second session ng CLP. Kaya okay lang naman because it was really something that we look forward to, and I guess gratitude to Kuya Bob, and truly life-changing for us.
Nako, ganun talaga. Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Isang tanong pa lang, ang dami na nating nalaman, ang dami na nilang kwento. But before we go to the real interviews, shout out tayo, Iyalo, Cagayan, West Davao, they're watching now, Tugigaraw, and Australia.
May
And of-
Canada din.
Oo, si Marlene, si Odit from Canada, Toronto. Good morning daw.
Yan.
Tuloy-tuloy ko na. San Fernando, Imus.
Ang dami
Yan.
nila, ang dami
Oo,
nila.
all over. So, ito na. Here's the thing. Because this is a very special episode. What with you, our bosses of BCBP, the BOT, we really had to research and put our cheesy, Missy Bird to work. Naku, pagod siya. Anyway, Shai,
That is so true, Beth. Pagod na pagod siya. So, guests tonight, the 3 gentlemen, surprise! For our interview proper, some of the questions will be preceded by interesting little details we dug up on you. Beth and I will ask a bato-bato sa langit question, and ang tamaan, aminin, okay? All you need to do is either raise your hand and say, that's me. Pwede rin namang ako yan. So,
Okay.
Beth, lead the way.
yes. So, remember, no? Just raise your hand. So, ako, umpisa. Bato-bato sa langit. Who has a favorite early morning playmate named Pepe? Aminin. Meron ba?
Not
Yung-
me.
Si ako.
Ayun! Si Tito. Tito, sino si Pepe?
Si Pepe, yun yung pet ni Josie. Si
Oh.
Pepe.
Okay.
After her dad, because her dad, di ba, passed away. So we bought a Vision. Yun yung kanyang
Oh, ang cute. So, here's my real question, Tito. Di niya na-expect yung tanong eh. What was your earliest leadership role in our home chapter? Did you even imagine yourself to be the chairman someday of BCBP?
actually, most of us would identify by the phrase leadership by abandonment. No? Kasi 2 years into our community life, we were immediately appointed as an action group leader. Wala pang training yan, ha? So, we really felt we were not ready because mas senior sa amin. Pero, never in our wildest dream did Josie and I think or even aspire to be in the spotlight where our service in the brotherhood is concerned? But mga kapatids, the Lord is relentless, no? Kung siya ang tumawag, kumbaga, who are we to say no? Di
That's
ba?
true. Ganda niyan, Tito Tito. Meron actually comment, many are called but few are chosen. Mahayong gabi mula sa Bohol. So ito naman, bato-bato sa langit. Ready na. Bato-bato sa langit who has four sisters whose nicknames are names of fruits. Tama ba to? Cherries. Cherry, isa lang pala. Apples, berry,
Apples.
and peachy. And ito pa, one of them, Cherry, is actually his twin sister. So bato-bato sa langit, ang tamaan, aminin. Sino to?
Yeah. Cherry is my twin sister.
Ay, ikaw ay Tito Bong, it's you pala. So
Yeah.
totoo ang ating chismisi bird. Balita ko, ikaw nga. So what
Pero-
fruit,
Buti na lang hindi ako coconut.
what fruit are you named after? Beth,
Eduardo.
mukhang alam mo.
Ako,
Sige nga,
balimbong.
Balimbong. So brother Balimbong, when did you first ito nang totoong question. When did you first become aware of the BCBP, that the BCBP had a chairman? And maybe you can let us know who the chairman was back then?
Okay, in 2009, I was a BOT member. And yung active yung chairman natin, pogi na, naka-drive na Mercedes-Benz. Pangalan niya si Bobby Atendido. I was so impressed.
Bolero.
Mukhang may trash talking dun sa loob ng studio. So, ito naman. Bato-bato sa langit ang tatamaan nito. Merong 6 siblings and apparently, he turned out so smart because his best friends were books. Totoo ba to? Aminin.
Ako yun.
Totoo to, ha? Salamat sa aming chismisi bird. Kaya naman pala naging chairman din. But Tito Bobby, I bet many of our members are not aware of the BCBP chairman's role. Ano nga bang ginagawa niyo dyan? Can you explain to our audience how one becomes a BOT chairman? Binoboto ba kayo? Appointed? Ano ba? How does
O
this
parang
position...
Pope, parang Pope, di ba?
May
Yung may
smoke ba?
uso.
So how does this position differ also from that of the president?
Parang ano yan eh, parang election of the Pope, di ba? No, but seriously, there is a process of nomination in the Brotherhood when the terms of the Board of Trustees expire. And there are 3 nominees from Luzon, 3 from Metro Manila, 3 from Visayas, and then 3 from Mindanao. No? And so the nominees, once they have been voted by the senior leaders, constitute themselves into a board of trustees. And subsequent to that, then the board of trustees will then meet and then pray and discern and elect among themselves who will be the chairman and the president. Now, that's the process. And then, in terms of role, I think it's no different from a corporate role in the sense that a chairman is really in charge of policy making, chairing the board of trustees meeting, whereas the president is really the CEO of the community. So he takes care of the management and operations of the community, making sure that all of us, all leaders and members, adhere to the vision and mission of the brotherhood. So that's the way it's constituted.
Thank
Serious
you,
pala.
Bobby. Ayun. Baka may mga question ng audience natin. Please remember to chat. And Imus, Urdaneta, Cebu, Bohol, Talibon, Canlubang, Nueva Vizcaya, Davao East, and Cebu North. Ang dami pa,
Ang
Chay.
dami, ang
Oo.
dami.
Great bolero ka raw. Mr. Bobby. Anyway, my next question is to Bong. Pasensya na po at itong aming chismisi bird, dinagdagan pa ng sister mo, si Berry. um, it's true that you are one of the pioneers of Cagayan de Oro chapter, but your dad, the late ambassador to the USA and former vice president, was also an active BCBP breakfast attendee. Did he require you? Did he influence you in some way to join community? Who was your earliest mentor, and what was the biggest lesson that you've learned from him?
Okay, in the 80s, my father joined the Alabang. Wala pang BCBP sa Cagayan de Oro, so I had no idea. But he was the president of the Philippine Bible Society. Yun lang, ako, he would send Bible to Cagayan de Oro. We would distribute that, but I never bothered reading it, no? Okay, my earliest mentor, Christian Life Program number 3. I was assigned to this DGL, no? Now, who turned out, before the Christian Life Program, mortal enemy ko to. Pamangkin ko pa naman, but, bad blood. So, by the way, his name is Jong Tiro, no? CLP number 2. Dinala
Is he,
niya ako sa
is he
simbahan.
watching kaya?
Kapatid
I hope.
natin yan.
Hi, Jong. If you're
If
watching,
you're
please shout out. Baka na-mute
Nag-freeze.
yata niya si Bong.
Nag-freeze tuloy.
Hey, Bong.
Nag-freeze nga siya talaga.
Oo
Nawala
na.
si nawala.
Okay. So,
Let's
Beth,
get back to him. No?
Oo, magbato-bato ka na lang kaya.
Sige,
Feeling ko mas okay
magbabato-bato
yun.
muna ako while waiting for Bong to come back. So, ito naman, bato-bato sa langit, sino ang ginawin? Always wrapped up, pag malamig, especially when traveling. Aminin,
Ako po yun.
si Tito. Okay, I'm sure alagang-alaga ka ni Mother Soup dahil I'm sure siya yung magbabao ng mga jacket mo dyan. Aside from her, who do you consider your greatest supporter during your term as chairman? But wait, may follow-up pa. Meron kasing sinabi na naman si Chismisi Bird namin.
Overtime siya ngayon, ah.
Oh, grabe. Ang dami niyang alam. You are also better known in our chapter as the Man of Steel. Actually, I call you that but I don't know why. Siguro dati ka raw magbabakal? Tama ba? Can you explain?
Actually, Beth, alam mo naman yung aking number one tormentor, no? Yung aking ex-girlfriend, si Josie, no? She came up with the tag yung Man of Steel. So, I was just thinking, kasi nakialamero daw ako ng problema ng ibang tao. May mentality daw ako na save the world mentality. That's why. So, anyway, but seriously, Josie was really my helpmate and partner in service. Uh, and she is still continue to be my greatest cheerleader as well. Second, is my another tormentor, si Tatang Louie Morales. He only forced me to become chapter head. And, well, sabi niya, hindi kita pababayaan. And, truth to tell, he was there always. And he even called me Clark, no? Clark, uh, which is really in reference to what Josie is calling me. So, and speaking of nicknames, itong si Kuya Bobby, bininyagan rin ni Kwan yan, ni Tatang Louie.
May
So,
nickname din si Tito Bobby? Aba. Tito Bobby, please tell us that story. But before you do, I just want to tell everybody no, na medyo nag-brown out kung nasan si Tito Bong. So, babalik siya as soon as possible. But Tito Bobby, please tell us that story about your nickname.
Well, tawag dito. Actually, si Tatang Louie ang nagbanyag sa akin ng bato. No? Bato. And he has this knack of calling people by nicknames. And it's true that before the brotherhood, I was, kumbaga, sabi nga ng misis ko, confirmed ni Fe, that I had a heart of stone, no? Pusong bato. Walang compassion, walang sympathy, etc. And that stuck because of Louis Morales, no? So from the beginning until he passed away, he called me Bato. But being a member of the Brotherhood, yung pusong Bato naging pusong Mamon. Because, di ba, like a true member of BCBP, naging iyakin na rin ako every time I talk, every time I share. You know, para ka naiiyak, di ba? Kaya nga, brotherhood of crying businessmen and professionals. Yan ang tunay na definition.
ng BCBP. So, Tito Bato, meron akong question para sa iyo. As you were growing or ika nga maturing in community, who became your role model and what was this person's personal impact on you? Narinig. Ay, hi, Tito Bong. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Pero Tito Bobby, Tito Bobby, tinawag kitang Tito Bato, pero parang hindi mo, ayaw mo sagutin. Nakakalata ako. Ulitin ko ang question. As you were growing or maturing in community, who became your role model and what was his personal impact on you? Tito Bobby, para hindi na lang ang nickname.
Actually, sa brotherhood, maraming role models, di ba? Maraming
Marami.
committed leaders, members. But in Alabang chapter, my immediate mentor was Charlie Carvalho. No, he was I don't know, grooming me for leadership position, moving me from one service to another, mission, formation, etc. So my mentor was Charlie Carvalho. But the other person who has greatly impacted my life is Tatang Louis Morales, like si Tito, no? I think Tatang Louis, we admire him for his passion and zeal for the brotherhood, and so that passion for mission, evangelization has always struck my mind, and really we embrace it, no? Embrace it. So two persons really, Charlie Carvalho and Tatang Louis Morales.
Madami talagang na-affect si Tatang Louie. Ako rin, Bobby, may tawag din siya sa akin. Even though I was married, he insisted on calling, basta sa akin, Miss Tirona ka pa rin. Ganyan. So anyway, welcome back. Meron akong
Yeah.
bato-bato sa langit. Ito, super impressed ako dito. Who, even as a college student, no, nagtitindero na raw siya ng mga yummy pastillas at dressed chicken. Aminin, sino to? College student. Tito Bong.
Si Tito Bong.
Marunong
Manok lang.
Brown
Kasi
out
itlog.
pa rin dyan, ha?
mag-dress ng chicken. Paano ba ginagawa yun?
Hindi ko inuubaran yung chicken. Binibili ko nakahubad na, no, sa planta diyan sa Pasig General Millings. And then
you
binabalot
sell
ko na
it?
lang yan. Yes.
Wow. So, did Tatang Louie baptize you also with the pet name?
Well, si Tatang Louie, every election malapit na, would always sabi niya, takbo ka for senator, ako bahala sa iyo. No? Magaling ako sa campaign. Kayang-kaya natin yan. Name recall ng tatay mo. Sabi ko, Louie, ayaw ng tatay ko. Mas lalo nang hindi ako papayag sa iyo. Then he kept on calling me senator. Yun lang ang buti
So,
na
may
lang. No?
nickname ka pa rin siya.
Yeah.
But you became eventually the BOT chairman.
Yes.
How did Beng and your children react to this when you were elected as chairman?
Well, si Beng has always been exposed to the BOT and Mancom ladies, no? Every time I'm in the national office position. And so nothing new for her because alam mo naman si Beng, parang ikaw, Beth, madaldal, sociable, no? And my children, they were part of the children's formation. And then when I was chairman, they were now young adults, no? So it was really
It didn't come
nothing.
as a surprise.
No.
Okay.
Galing. Okay, mag-hello lang ako sa RCB namin ng SMMR2, si Vic Antonio. Hello, good evening. Bato-bato sa langit. I wonder kung sino to. Long before becoming BCBP chairman, who among you was a member of a combo? Combo talaga? Parang lumalabas ang edad. Kanina kaset, ngayon combo. At tumutugtog sa mga school fair at party. Aminin,
Yung mga millennial, hindi nila alam ang combo.
hindi nila alam. Two hands up pa si Tito Bobby. Tito Bobby, wow naman ha. You've come a long way from there. I have a question for you. As a business leader or executive, I'm sure you've heard of this statement before. It is lonely at the top. Does this also apply to the highest position in the BCBP community?
Well, sa corporate setting, di ba may mga boundaries? And people call you, sir, sa akin, Mr. A. And so there's always like a wall. But in the BCBP, wala yun eh. Kasi we're all brothers and sisters in community. So even if you were chairman or president and occupying a position of leadership, we are all there for service. No? And so in the BOT, in the Board of Trustees, it's always collegial and brotherly. Kasi isa lang naman yung purpose ng lahat eh. Is really to serve the Lord, and in community we are there to really fulfill the vision and mission of the brotherhood. So very collegial, no? Very collegial.
That's very nice to know and very inspiring to hear also that there's collegiality even at the top. So another bato-bato sa langit. Bato-bato sa langit who loves to window shop. At dati, classified ads, pero ngayon online na through merchant sites like Carousel. Aminin,
Ako po yun. Masarap mag-window shopping, walang bayad.
tito-tito ha, talk about evolution.
Pero bago magtanong, tanong niyo si Kuya Bob kung anong pangalan ng banda nila.
Ay,
Sige
ano?
nga, Tito Bobby, what's the name?
Tito,
Combo.
baka maban tayo sa brotherhood. Eh.
Chat na lang, i-chat na lang, Bobby.
Sagutin mo, Bob. Aminin.
Aminin ko na lang. Because before, our combo was called the vibrators.
Ooh.
Tawagat
No,
over.
let me explain that. The vibrator is sa guitars, electric guitar, there is a vibrator in the guitar, so it will give it a twang, di ba?
Yeah.
Bong, you're thinking of something else.
Ang
Okay.
hirap mag...
Shy,
ang hirap
nasa na yung question mo?
Ito na. Tito, itatabi ko na yung vibrator vibrator question. Talk about evolution. Ito na. So, being the most recent chairman, Tito, among the three of you here tonight, can you tell us how else did managing the BOT and Mancom roles evolve? Natatawa pa rin ako. Did being a business leader contribute to that development?
It's a good transition, Chai. Kasi I was involved in other board directorships naman in the corporate world. So the transition, even when I started as national treasurer and becoming the BOT chairman, was okay. But there is a big difference in terms of how the manner of discussing, how the language, and clearly how the atmosphere, no, the atmosphere. So to me, BCBP is a ministry to be served, while a corporation is a profession to be run. So that's the big difference. BCBP is a ministry to be served, and a corporation is to be run.
Nice.
Okay.
Tito, can I have I'll give a follow-up question, and it's from the chat box. I'll read it now. I think it's from one of the sons of our panelists. As chairman, what was the biggest trial you had with our community, and how did you manage it? Also, any footprints you've left during your time that we still experience today? This is from Roberto Atendido.
Junior.
Um, so si
Junior
Bobby,
yan, junior.
Junior.
Sige, si Tito dito muna, and then maybe the others
okay.
would like to answer also.
I was chairman when COVID-19 struck. Okay, so we were at a loss on how to do the communication, how to reach out to the whole community. So we were burning the lines, no? Luckily and blessed, and then yung Zoom. So we were in a crisis situation on how to see the community in terms of safety, in terms of many things, no? So we were really meeting and talking about how to see the Mancom and the BOT help out. So yun yung kwan, yun yung so the birth of the digital, you know, the digital governance, no, yung President PB now is one of those offshoot. So we were able to adapt and really reach out to the community at large. So that was thank you for the question, Bobby.
Nice. Thank you.
Hindi planted 'yon, no? Hindi. Thank you, Tito. Merong comment lang from June Abbott of Parañaque, chapter head. Impressive naman ng BCBP. We have the Man of Steel, a pusong bato, and the Senator in BCBP. Oh, tama
Saan
naman
ka pa,
siya.
di ba? Saan ka pa?
Oo. So, let's heavy na men eh. Masyado na tayo nagiging heavy. Let's lighten things up. Here's something for all the three of you. Let's talk about leadership style during your time. If you would compare it to a chair, upuan, what kind would best describe your leadership style and why? Ayan, meron project ang ating studio. Mamili na kayo. Let's start with, sino ba? Bobby.
Okay. Definitely not a wheelchair. No. I think I think my
Malakas pa
leader,
ang tuhod.
I think my leadership style is swivel chair. No, swivel chair. And as a leader kasi, in an organization, there are different personalities, different points of view, and you've got to be able to swivel and adjust to challenges, personalities in any organization. So kailangan flexible ka and so hindi rigid, no? Hindi rigid because different people take to different styles of leadership. So for me, swivel chair would probably best characterize my style.
Nice.
Si
And
Tito
Bong?
Bong kaya.
Ako naman, yung massage chair, no? Kasi as a leader, magaling ako humilot eh. Humilot ng problema. No?
Wow.
Yun ang importante sa leader. Hilutin mo yung problema, don't add, don't compound the problem. Look for solution. Okay? Anybody gustong magpahilot?
May tatanong pa ako pero wag na lang. Sige na, next. Tito.
Ako naman yung bar stool so that I can sit taller and still do multitasking. Basta adjustable yung bar stool para makababa to do other things.
Ang
Adjustable.
galing
Ang
talaga ng
galing.
chairman natin.
Totoo. Si Tito adjusting to so many in the time of pandemic, ano siya, lahat no, na pag-iisipan niya. So I have another question for you, Tito. What would you consider as the major event or development in the BCBP that occurred during your term?
I guess I'd like to start with my appointment as the national treasurer. We did two things, no? We did the International Mission Fund that was launched in Cebu in 2015, which culminated into the BCBP International Foundation Inc. or BIFIBP. So that's the first one. The second one is because by profession, accounting po ako accountant. No? So at that time, BCBP was asked to be to undergo a complete audit of all the chapters, not just the national office. So we were able to start the process of consolidating finance, financial reports and accounting reports from all the chapters. So those were the two that also culminated, I think, with Brother Cesar's term. No? The last one is we devolved, hinati namin yung meeting ng Mancom at saka BOT. Kasi maybe later you will hear it from my kuyas that whole day yung meetings nila kasi combined yung dalawa. So in our term with President Job before, hinati namin yung Mancom and BOT and I believe, personally believe that's what is good because it allowed the policy making activities really take one, take emphasis and focus compared to the operations or Mancom issues.
Mm. Thank you, Tito. Naku, ang daming nangyari sa term niya. Maayong gabi daw sa CDO East and West, Bukidnon, Baybay City, Dipolog. Ang dami nila, Shy.
Marami
Okay,
nga.
back to bato-bato tayo. Bato-bato sa langit. Who has been in love with his beloved wifey since they were 14 years old or 15 years old? Aminin,
14, 15.
Feeling ko since teenagers, hindi yata 14, 15.
teenagers.
Parang ayaw ko lang kasi Waki.
Baka
Not
silang
me.
tatlo.
Not
In
you.
love with the Wi-Fi. With the Wi-Fi. Baka ako yun. Neighbor ko si Jun eh.
Baka mali
So,
si Chismissy Bird.
oo nga, mali ang cheesy bird. Bobby, ikaw daw to eh.
Hindi ako yun.
You've been, ay, hindi ka in love? Okay,
No,
sorry.
I was
Naku.
not 14.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
How
What
old are you?
age?
14, naka-short pants pa ako noon.
Or maybe 16.
Si Eric,
Okay. So, anyway, Bobby, the next question is yours. Yan ang faith story naman. How did your being a chairman affect your faith? Was it challenge, enhanced, or was it transformed because you were chairman?
Um, well, my response to that, I think growing in faith is not doesn't reside in positions, no, in the community. It's really a day-to-day thing. You grow it, but when you're brought up into positions of leadership, I think it is really the service involved in the position that allows you to grow in faith, to grow deeper in commitment. So not the position per se, but really in the extent of service that you render to the community. And when you're chairman, the kumbaga the blessings that come with positions of leadership is like Tito and Bong, we get to travel around the country, and we get to meet leaders, members all over the country. And what is inspiring is when you see brothers and sisters committed, no, to serving the Lord in community. So that's inspiring, and in a very significant way that really contributes to your own faith
Faith.
journey.
So nice. Can't wait to travel all around the Philippines just to see all these members of BCBP committed in faith and all. So one last bato-bato sa langit for the night. Who was the pet of his auntie na ang swerte because she took him to see the Pope in Rome to fulfill her bucket list item? Aminin. Tito Bong, it's
Yun.
you.
Ay, salamat.
Yes.
Tama na yung cheese
Tama
bird.
siya. Pero Tito Bong, wait ha. Speaking of relatives, our chismissy bird, sana tama to, found out that Tito Bong is related to our very dear Erica. Kaya naman, even if she is anniversary mooning, we gave her a special assignment so that she can still be part of our show. So here she is now, Tito Bong, with a very special question for you. Pasok, Erica.
Tito Bong, mayong gabi, and to you too, Tita Beng. So I heard that Kamorsud ang fan favorite in the BCBP and you've been invited to so many talks across so many chapters. Mangutana sana ako, I wanted to ask, is there a favorite, naibay favorite talk that you and Tita Beng do? And I guess you could give me and Arvin some tips about it. Kaya I heard that you have a famous talk, especially in the BCMR. So tell us more.
Tito Bong, what is that
wow.
talk?
Ang bigat na. Erica and Arvin, happy anniversary. No, we're always invited in the BCMR talk. And the topic is always sex and marriage. I remember very well in 2017, this is in Malaybalay, we broke the protocol. We had to move the topic, the talk, after the breakfast because we had a flight in the afternoon to catch for Manila. So we gave the talk and we called it sex after breakfast. Nandiyan si Chai, oh. Chai can expound on that.
I keep laughing because that is such a memorable talk, Tito
Shy,
Bong.
effective ba yung talk?
Parang nagbablush ako, Tito Bong. JB and I laughed our hearts out when we listened to you and Tita Beng give tips, books. That talk in Malay-Balaya. Eric and Arvin should really have a mentoring session with both of you. But Tito Bong, I have another question for you. I heard you had a Titanic moment with the BOT. Is this true? And what is this Titanic moment?
Okay, this happened in 2014. I requested the board, can we have it where I am now at Duca Bay Resort, no? So we had a meeting at the Duca Bay Resort, and what we feature here is the dive areas. So we have this gloss bottom. The capacity is only 10, but syempre yung dive operator, sabi ko, pasok. We were now lucky 13. So
Oh,
midway, no, biglang pumutok yung glass kasi overload nga. No, immediately we sank. Yung camera ni Janet, hulog, si Lulu, no? Nandun pa rin si Jong, my favorite nephew, no? Sandra. Mabuti na lang, here comes yung Baroto, nagpapaddle. And we were saved by that Baroto, no? Yung boat. And this guy, I fired him a month ago from Duca Bay. Kita mo naman ang blessing, no? Mismo yung tao na finire out mo, siya pa ang si-save sa iyo. So, that's the Titanic of the BCBP. Kundi wala na sana, wala nang
buong
BOT.
BOT.
BOT yun.
Yes. No?
Ngay. Grabe. I get with the Tito Bong, thank you very much for sharing that. And I assume the other two gentlemen also have many memorable experiences in the community. And maybe, Tito Bong, you have another one to share. But what is the funniest and maybe even the most embarrassing experience you had while you were a chairman? Tito, maybe we can start with you.
Very embarrassing and really awkward is when, because of the frequent travels, we can't remember the names of the members na binibisita namin. I guess, palusot ito palusot. Sa dami kasi ng both international and local members, yung muka familiar pero nami-miss out mo yung pangalan. So, yun ang pinaka nakakahiya. Kaya ang tawag mo na lang, yes sis, yes bro. So, that, sa totoo lang, sorry po, patawad. No, patawad. So, I guess si Bobby has also some embarrassing moments. No?
Marami yan actually. Pero well, it's not really a funny incident, no? I think it was in Davao, yung anniversary in Davao. And after the fellowship on Saturday, di ba? And so the venue was quite a distance from the hotel. So wala nang shuttle. And so Te and I and then another member, we took the tricycle. And alam mo naman, ang tricycle, di ba, maliit? So Fe and the other member were inside and I was there at the back of the driver hanging on for dear life, no? And apparently, some members saw me riding the tricycle. And I heard when I reached the hotel, sabi ng mga members na nakakita sa amin, wow, si chairman pala marunong mag-tricycle. So, parang, what's about riding a tricycle, di ba? And apparently they picture you as no, you cannot ride a tricycle, but I do. I mean, that doesn't bother me.
Thank you, Tito Bobby. Kailangan makita kita sa tricycle. Tito Bong, do you want to add any other memorable moments?
Yeah, my first out of town trip, no, as a chairman was San Jose, Mindoro. But ang check-in mo is really early, 4 o'clock in the morning. You have to provide mga 2 hours before it. So meaning you're up by 2 o'clock, then check-in at 4. So while we were checking in, no, there was this group of young people. Para bang had that funny look, Nag-wave. Sabi ko, kay Beng, kita mo lang. Sabi ni Beng, just wave up then. Ako naman, may suplado yung gano'n. Sino ba sila, no? No? Anyway, when we were now boarding, they were boarding also the same flight. Pagbaba namin, mga taga Batangas pala, si Noel Landicho, he introduced himself, no? Wow, sabi ko, I'm sorry, no, yung napakasuplado ko. But from then on, 3 days kami doon, we became best of friend, and then every month kami ni Beng ini-invite sa Southern Tagalog by Noel Landicho. No, ang moral lesson, wave ka lang, maskin ano, don't have that suplado look.
Oh, okay.
No?
Kaya pala panel smile ni Bong ngayon.
Yeah, no.
Okay. To all of you, no? We're about to end our interview. We're now showing you a board studio. Each of you, please choose the 3 top most challenging tasks that you have experienced during your time as chairman. Let's start with you again, Bobby.
Looking at this board, I think the number one most difficult is conflict resolutions, not just among members, but in the chapter. That's number one. Number two, I think very long meetings of the BOT and the MANCOM. And number three is really remembering the names of members.
Okay.
Ikaw Tito.
Bob, idagdag ko lang, no? Kasi sa akin yung binanggit mo, less challenging eh. Ang mas challenging sa akin, may dalawa. The first one, this is really during fellowship. The first one, when they ask you to dance. So, kailangan naka-single malt ka para ka sumayaw. Pero the last one, when they ask me to sing, ay nako, that's my kryptonite po. No way. No way.
Singing ha, meron akong insight dyan mamaya. Pero baka si Tito Bong also wants to jump in here and pick his top challenge.
Okay, Chai, excuse me. Yeah, yung frequent traveling, I would like to add the word frequent and complicated traveling. Kami sa Cagayan de Oro, we have to take the first flight, no? For Manila. And then when you arrive Manila, yung connecting flight mo to the province is still in the afternoon. No? So you're at the airport. Pagdating mo naman sa afternoon, i-welcome ka nila. Friday to, dadaling ka nila sa teaching night, no? Not only teaching night, may misa pa yan, no? And then fellowship, dinner. By the time you go home to your hotel, 11 o'clock na, no? And then third, ipapashare ka pa rin sa umaga, no?
Sulit.
Well, sulit. Ang ano nga dyan, gusto nila, they want their money's worth, no? Siyempre yung tithes nila binibigay sa national, dapat sulit, no? You have to join all these activities. But it's worth it. Ang friendship, no? The relationship you establish, hindi na bibili yan.
Wow.
From suplado to friendly person pala si Tito Bong. Pero di ba nga sabi ni Tito kanina, he is willing to dance but not sing. Tito Bobby. Biglang flower si Tito, tapos si Tito Bobby. Tito Bobby, I know for a fact that you have an amazing talent. We heard from our reliable chismisi bird that you were once a member of The Voice of Emphysema. So as we end this portion of our show, I would like to ask you, if your experience as a chairman was put into a song, what song would that be? And syempre, pasample naman dyan.
Yan! Naku, may ebidensya tayo, Bobby.
Yung ating audience naman, pakigayak naman si Tito Bobby. Pakisabi, go, go, go.
Pwede ba?
Ako lang ang shy
Inom
dito.
muna. Ha? Inom muna ako.
Let's go.
May ebidensya tayo siya. He cannot say, hindi totoo yan.
So when we look at them, they're so excited, looking forward to hearing the voice of Emphysema.
Oh, sige. Just short verse. Okay. A cappella na lang ito. Kung tayo ay matanda na, sana'y di tayo magbago. Kailanman Nasaan man ito ang pangarap ko na tayong lahat ay BCBP pa rin hanggang sa pagtanda natin. Nagtatanong lang sa'yo, ako ba kaya'y makilala mo? Kahit maputi na ang buhok ko.
Woohoo! Yuhuu!
Palakpak naman dyan. Shout out na rin sa ating audience. Ang galing
Shy.
dito, Bobby. Thank you.
Ang swerte natin, Unmasked is always gifted with a singer from the
Totoo.
panelists,
That is
di
so
ba?
true. Baka, Beth, makambyo ako dito at pakantahin din kita. So, gusto mo ba kumantahin? De, joke lang. All right. Back to mute ba mute. Now it's time for back to the serious business. Now it's time for the last portion of our show called the Be Honest Ha. And our guests have nothing to worry about because the rules naman are simple. Beth and I will say something and you just have to give the answer that first comes to your mind. No explanations required. And if a choice is offered to you, the answer both is not an answer. So, game na ba? Two thumbs up naman dyan kung game na. Parang ayaw nila, wala nila thumbs up. Yan. So, I'll go first, Beth, if it's okay.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Thank you. Best BCBP location you have visited, Tito Tito.
Ormoc.
Favorite
Wow.
chillax pastime, Tito Bong.
Sleeping.
Skipping? Skating.
Sleeping.
Sleeping. Skating na rin ko. Choose only one, chocolate cake or ice cream or chocolate bar itself, Tito Bobby.
Chocolate cake. Sarap ang
Sarap.
cake ng anak ko.
Si Trisha yan, I know. What is the color of your shorts right now, Tito Bobby?
Purple.
Parang gusto ko siya patayuin, pero wag na lang. One unforgettable lesson your AGL has taught you, Tito Bong.
Prayer time.
Nice, prayer time. In one word, describe Father Herb, Tito Bobby.
Holy.
Most number of times you gave a message or speech in a year, Tito Tito.
12? 12?
Parang nagtatanong
Amen.
siya. One thing you've done for the first time but will never do again, Tito Tito.
Ride a jet ski.
Oh, my turn.
Go ahead.
Except becoming a new skill that you have developed during this pandemic. Bong.
Washing.
Washing.
Dish and laundry.
Oh, wow. By what endearing name does your spouse call you? Bobby.
Sweetheart.
Sweet. Talaga. Name a Mancom or BOT member you're most thankful to work with. Tito.
My president, si Job Almoro, syempre.
Nanonood ba yan, Joff? Who is your BCBP idol? Bong.
Tatang Louie.
Talagang sikat si Tatag Louie, no? The first thing you did after serving as chairman, Bobby.
Disappear.
What's the last text of your spouse to you, Tito?
Shut up.
Name one thing the BCBP people don't know about you, Bobby.
I'm shy.
Cannot
Shy.
be, that's only me.
Oh, ito, all the three of you, since we're ending this, be honest. I feel handsome when, Bobby.
When my wife looks at me.
No?
No.
Bong.
When I'm fully rested.
No. Talaga, pahinga. Tito.
When during Zoom meetings, I put the touch-up appearance to the max.
Ay,
Tito Tito,
kaya.
baka lumabas pa yung lipstick at saka kilay dyan.
Oh, just make sure it's beige. Okay.
Ay, nako. Thank you very much. Grabe.
Overtime tayo siya.
Overtime,
Sorry.
but it was such a fun evening for me, and I hope all of you enjoyed the evening too. So thank you so much to our guests for joining us this evening, Tito Bobby, Tito Bong, and Tito Tito. I hope you had fun. How about you, Beth, did you have fun? My
I am still,
co-host.
yeah, I'm still shocked. But yes, I had a wonderful time. Pero next time, Erica, bumalik ka na dito. Babalik na ako sa backstage.
Mas masaya sa backstage. Ay, nako. So, balita ko, there is a Christmas edition. So, watch out for our announcement on that. That goes to our audience. And that is it for tonight. Good night, everybody. I am Shai De La Fuente, a member of BCBP Alabang.
And I'm Beth from Makati. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone. Magandang gabi.
Gabi,
BCBP.
BCBP.